All right, so yeah, the two devices I wanted to talk about before I jumped into the app is, Luke already covered that, which is great, but this is this module. So I enrolled them into the app before I did this. So you probably can't see it, but you can see through, will that show up there? There you go. See the hole there in the bottom? So if I drop the water leak detector in there. All right. It's closed now, right? You can hear it? Yeah. So pretty quickly, battery powered. Excited for when that comes out. So we do have the two apps. We've got the dealer app on the top left. That allows you to manage all your sites remotely, all your installers remotely. And then we have the end user app. Very, very similar. But when a dealer brings an end user on, he brings them on just as a user, not an admin with full rights. So I've got the user app, admin with full rights. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of how the app's laid out and how quickly we can bring a system online. So you can see here, I made up 4 fake partitions. So I've got my hub just outside the door there. Actually, before I do that, let me show you. I've been doing some demos today. So this is when we started this morning. I started monitoring it, and we were at 1123 for parts per million on the CO2 level. Right? So generally outside is 400. In a room, you ideally want 700 is kind of the ideal. Once it gets over 1,000, then you start getting those headaches and tiredness and eye irritation. So it started going up throughout the day. 1,300. I'll go back to that picture in a second. But it got as high as 14, 16. I think it's higher than that right now if I pulled up the what it is. But then everybody went for lunch, and it went back to 982. Right? Kind of neat.
We'll have to eat more. What you're saying is everybody else has to hold their breath.
Exactly. Yes. Actually, this one's. It was cold outside. My face looks redder than it usually is in this one. But we did a walk test with our camera motion. Right? And we walked down. So we've got a panel there. We have a repeater. Ron had one in his car. He's got an outlet to plug it in. And then I walked down to the Delta, where the trade show was for the Canassa. And I was able to hold up the camera and take pictures with the outdoor motion camera. So pretty neat range. So when you're driving out today, you can drive by that and be like, yeah, that's where Rob was. And it's pretty good range. So I'll be very quickly here. So you asked about what if I have multiple sites for an end user and I want to be able to check in. So you just go to the top, the drop down at the very top. I click Harman Cottages, that's my parents' place. Then I'm into their site. There's my house. And Luke talked about the relay. So I've got the relay hooked into my garage door. And you can put a picture of the garage door. When I push that, it opens my garage door. One other neat thing for the relay is we've got a dealer in Florida that has it wired into his recorder, his NVR. So when they arm the system, and he's doing a chain of sites across the US. So when the system arms at night, turns the analytics on. And when it disarms in the morning and everybody's there, it turns analytics off because it doesn't want to get all that stuff being tracked. So yeah, the relay's it can do anything, right? It's got lots of neat applications. So I'll go to the fake one, the ones that I've made up, and just for illustration purposes, you've got the ability to do 25 partitions. I got 4. And you can make them look like whatever you want. So I took a picture of a pro shop and the clubhouse. If I wanted to arm partition 1, which is clubhouse only, I'll push a picture of the clubhouse. It arms the clubhouse only. If I want to disarm clubhouse only, push it again, disarms clubhouse only. What about arming them all together at the same time? I don't have to push 4 different buttons. I hit the button on the bottom, which is my global arm. Look how it's pretty quick too, right? And then if I want to disarm, global disarm, bottom right. Correct. So we have a feature called integrity check. So if that's enabled, it will say, no, this zone's open. But I don't have that turned on right now.
But can you do the auto bypass if you knew what it is by arming it?
Yeah, you can. We have, sorry, I hit that quickly. So we have an in-app panic as well. And it's not based on where my hub's located. It's based on where this is located. So if I push that, every user, this sounds funny, but every user in my hub right now would be getting a loud blah, blah, blah. We heard Luke's go off earlier, right? And what would happen, you say, what happened? Rob Harman pushed the panic button. Where did Rob push the panic button? There, right there. And I can go hit the Google Maps tab, and it's got my exact coordinates of where it is. Right, so you can zoom out. So you think of lone workers, kids walking home from school. I have a dealer in Texas that gave it to a sorority house. So every girl in the app has access to the app. If somebody pushes it, they know who pushed it and where they pushed it. Just a built-in free service. So, all right, so everybody ready? This is kind of the best part here. So if I want to add devices, I'm going to go add device. I'll do the camera part first. If I want to add a camera, I have the ability to, there's the integrated brands that we have, Dahua, Hike, UniView, or any camera that supports an RTSP stream. I click on the RTSP stream and I fill in the information required, and I can bring any of those cameras in as well. Let's go to add device. So I'm going to say outdoor siren, scan the QR code, pop the back plate off the device. All right, everything's got QR code, everything's got a power button. So I'm going to scan it, and then I pick my, no, basically add device. So now I've got 30 seconds to hit the power button on the back, and then it's in. Yeah. All right, add device, camera motion, QR code, and yeah, you'd pick your partition as well, right? But let's just, we'll do Clubhouse for keeping it simple.
Is that too complicated for programming? Yeah.
Front door.
So used to the numbers and land use.
Look, start to section 57, pound.
So we have our, those are the devices I just added, right? So if I want to check the outdoor siren, you can see the temperature right there, 23 degrees. Your signal strength, I have the ability to go in here easily, change it from loud. Quiet's even pretty loud. So quiet is like 82, 85 decibel, all the way up to 113 decibel on very loud. So I'm going to do muted, if that's all right. I've got permanent hearing damage from doing this so many times. You'll see it working. That's enough, Vince. So we got the camera motion, and we talked about the image quality as well. So I have the ability to set it to the highest level, which is 640 by 480. Again, it's not blow your socks off quality. You're going to see it's pretty decent though. And then I can say set it for a series of 3. If I had the lower quality, you're right, you can set it to 7. But for the highest quality, it's 3. So what happens is if every time somebody walks in front of the motion, 3 pictures. They keep walking, 3 pictures. So at default, 30 pictures very quickly sent to the end user of what caused that motion to go into alarm. Verified response, reduce false alarms. And then the last thing is the door contact. So if I wanted to go in here, and you can spin the device as many times as you like as well. We don't charge more for that. You have the ability to go in there and change the entry delay per zone, right? Just scroll to whatever you like. Exit delay, same thing. This sensor not only has the input, so the external contact, but it also has a tilt sensor and a shock sensor. So I can go in there and say for the sensitivity of the shock, I'd like it to be normal. And if something happens, you're like, I want to change it remotely after, just as easy as we're doing here. So yeah, in your tilt, you can go 20 degrees, 25 degrees, and you can say it's got to be that way for 10 seconds before it goes in alarm. So what we're going to do, so I'm going to arm the system. This could take 1 second, could take up to 30. The system automatically arms, but the devices check in once every 30 seconds for this part. So arm. What we're going to do is we're going to watch for the green light on the motion detector. And when that green light goes, it means it's taken 3 pictures. And it could be up to 30, depending on how many green lights we get to go. So as soon as the green light goes, you're going to see this start flashing, and you're going to see those bubbles on the bottom of my app go from 7 to 8. Ready? So it's going to take the full 30 seconds, I'm sure. There you go. So I'm moving now. It's going to be blurry. I screwed that one up, but I'll hold it now. We'll get another set of green. There you go. So right now we have 6 images on their way to the end user. You saw how quick this goes. Anybody watching the bubbles? We're at 9. All right, and then we'll get another. So that's 12 images on their way to the end user. And by the time they walk over to their app, they hit the disarm button, or they don't even have to hit the disarm button, but they could hit the disarm button. We're going to go in there, and there's our images on their way. The first one, again, this one's going to be terrible because I was moving. Yeah, so you can see it's blurry. Better than what, it looks better on the phone than it does there.
It's reflecting the quality of the air. It's purple.
Yeah. But yeah, what it's going to do is it's going to dump a whole bunch more images and stitch them together like little GIFs or GIFs, so they're able to pull them up and save image by image. Right? So you can save image by image, or you can save together like a little video. Tech support, we didn't talk about that, Luke. I think it's pretty neat. Tech support's 24/7, available in 14 languages, available in the app, a 1-800 number, an email, and a chat group. But say, for example, here, I have the ability to report a problem. I can go in here and say, what happened? When did it happen? And then now you've got a ticket with tech support. So I can go in there, add more details if I want, hit submit, and get a response back from us with our suggestions on how to fix the problem. Somebody asked which stations in Canada are set up to support Ajax. And again, if you got a station, I know we can set you up and get you taken care of. But here is the Canadian Central Station set up, able to support Ajax, either third party or they have their own information in there.